Thanks for joining us on our special TV report on Gladiators track with Akon. Today promises to be very incisive. Nigeria is indeed blessed with exceptional people doing exceptional things in the industry, in the healthcare industry, in the legal sector, and also in the waste management industry. With us there on a special face-to-face documentary is none other person than Mr. Abdul Hakim Mustafa, SAN, the principal partner of AU Mustafa and Co. And also a general note from Adesukomi Wale, SAN, Aderoju Olumiyiwa, SAN, I am Kenneth, SAN, and a subsequent report from Professor Sage Ishejua, SAN, and also a special birthday wishes to none other person than our own Mrs. Abiola Basharu, the managing director of ZL Global Alliances. I tell you and I promise it's very incisive, so stay tuned and watch. In a world of business and craft highly dominated by men, in a world of inventories made possible by gifted men of great intuitions, you will be amazed with the profiles and successful of men competing with one another to stand up to prove a point about changing the narratives of an adage that says a woman's place is in the kitchen. We have seen many she-heroes. We have seen so many women making an impact to the growth of the world through creations of their own business to combat the menace of unemployment in our society. We have a figure of champion on the edition of our program, a woman of great records in the financial industry, now a managing director and chief executive officer, directing and managing the affairs of an industry highly dominated by men. Our woman of substance today is Mrs. Biola Basharu. In 1992, she earned her first degree from a high institution in Nigeria and an MBA in International Business Development from the United Kingdom, 2006. She has extensive work experience spanning over 24 years at Barclays Bank of the United Kingdom, Citibank of Nigeria, Stanbic IBTC Bank, UBA, EcoBank, ETB, Access Bank, and MasterCard Worldwide. She won the 2005 Eagle Award at Barclays Bank UK in Nigeria. She anchored the retail banking business of UBA and EcoBank in northern Nigeria. She also established and grew the premier banking model targeted at high net worth individuals at Equatorial Trust Bank. Indeed, a woman of substantial track records who has combined being a woman to becoming a hero like other great women of this world. Her journey in the financial and banking industry continued with Access Bank as the National Group Head of Retail Sales and Electronic Banking. From Access Bank, she was subsequently head-hunted by MasterCard Worldwide to assume the position of Vice President Prepaid Product Management for Sub-Saharan Africa in line with World Bank report on Africa as a major focus on retail and electronic business for emerging markets. She has functioned for 14 consecutive years at senior management and leadership levels, rising to the position of Assistant General Manager in the banking industry. Subsequently, as a business development consultant, she has worked with various institutions to drive business growth and restructuring initiatives. She is presently the MD CEO of ZL Global Alliance Limited, one of Nigeria's leading providers of integrated environment solutions. The company collects, transports, treats, recycles, recover, and dispose of residential, commercial, and industrial waste. Their services are tailored to meet various waste management strategies. And as the managing director, the company is passionate about a cleaner, safer, healthier, and a responsible environment. A unique brand with good services delivery reader to make you to wonder and ponder on the words of the wise that says, what a man can do, a woman can do better. Mrs. Isabella Basharo has shown to the world greatness and bravery on the move with ZL Global Alliance through the service of waste management, as the impact of their service is contributing tremendously to the control of waste in our environment, and we look forward to more strategic environment from her to convert the pain of putting waste together to more gains and productivities for her company, Nigeria and Africa to the world at large, through proper waste recycling for a greater production of other produce from waste. She is a woman of substance and a hero of our world.
It's going to involve all parties concerned. How do I mean? It's going to involve law lecturers, both at the law school and the faculties of law, also the MBA and the judiciary, because lawyers are products of those institutions. You go to the university and the law school, and things taught at the law school are supposed to be put into practice, and senior members of the MBA, the Nigerian Bar Association, are supposed to assist the upcoming ones by giving them direction and how to go about these things, and then avoid sharp practices and practices that could bring the legal profession into disrepute. These are things that we need to do. And that's why I said all concerned must be involved. All hands has to be on deck. Constitutional amendment, yes. But you see, the problem in Nigeria is this. Those who are supposed to really ensure that the provisions of the constitutions are effected. The players in the system, they are the ones that are abusing. Even when you amend the constitution, I remember if they don't practice what the provisions of the constitution, you will still find that we are not there. I remember the president made an order some time ago and asking that funds meant for the judiciary and local governments should be paid over to them directly. But what we face now is that they still go cap in hand to the state governments to get their money, which shouldn't be the case. So I believe there will be an improvement if constitution is amended along that line. The situation now does not encourage any business, and it doesn't encourage foreign investment. You find that we are in a situation where government has virtually thrown in the towel. And that is why we are finding that some of international companies are leaving the shores of this country for neighborhood, Ghana, for example. The problem is really enormous. And how do I mean? There are some of us who don't believe that lawyers should be underpaid because they are professional colleagues and they should be well paid, they should be well remunerated in terms of even what they wear, their appearance. They need to feel comfortable, but not all chambers, not all law firms can meet this criteria. And unfortunately, that's the situation in which we find ourselves. In the next 10 years, I can see Nigerian legal system being in the forefront of law practice, especially in the Commonwealth and the international community. Because we now make sure that we get involved in seminars, international conferences, and these are things that will make you feel the impulse of what goes on in other climes, and then make sure that we put it into practice here. The way the justice system can help local investment and foreign investment is maybe related to what I said earlier in terms of alternate dispute resolution and arbitration. These are things that will encourage both local and foreign businesses to evolve in Nigeria. I believe that we should develop our legal system and make sure that alternate dispute resolution is encouraged in every aspect of our life now.
fact, you will realize that with the advancement in technology, new frontiers have been broken. COVID also even added more. Now we are going to do a lot more work virtually. So ICT, take advantage of ICT. What are the opportunities? You can work more from your office and serve more clients outside the shores of Nigeria. People are beginning to develop competencies and specialization in areas like ICT, sports law, entertainment law, intellectual property, alternative dispute resolutions, and so on and so forth. The field out there is very, very fertile. People, of course, before now, people were specializing in the maritime, people were specializing in the energy sector, but people are breaking through to sports law. And there's a lot of money to be made there. People are breaking into entertainment law. There's a lot of money to be made there. More than at any other time, ADR, alternative dispute resolution, arbitration, mediation, and so on. The law serves a lot of purposes, including driving the economy. A lot of investors will not come to Nigeria or will come to Nigeria depending on their perception of the justice sector, the efficiency of the justice sector. Many times you find that they are interested in, if disputes must arise when human beings interact. Disputes must arise. So dispute resolution mechanisms that you have in the country, especially commercial dispute resolution, the investor is highly interested in that. So if you put in place mechanism, efficient, fast, efficient, and independent, unbiased mechanism for dispute resolution, they will come to you. You will find that there are some jurisdictions, there are some countries people have trusted over the years, so that even when they are entering agreements in Nigeria, or they are entering agreements in Ghana, they want to say that it is the law of that country that we will use to resolve our dispute when dispute arises. So, first and foremost, your dispute resolution mechanism is an influence in investor destination. Not only that, you use the law as instruments of socio-economic engineering. You use the law to establish some businesses. When you want to do aviation, law regulates everywhere. So how good your law is, how well you enforce it, helps the economy. There's hardly anything that you do is guided by law. You cannot give what you don't have. Let me just say that. With the best of intention, you cannot give what you don't have. We are running a system that is making it extremely difficult for them to be able to cope. We are running a constitution that is too expensive to carry. For the president to take any meaningful decision, he has to go and win the support of so large number of people at the National Assembly. But we need intensive constitutional amendments. The cost of governance is too much. It's too much. We need to look at it. We need to begin to reorientate the attitude of our leaders that you are going there to serve, not to. And so there's far too little money available to look after over 200 million Nigerians. And then on top of it, you are looking at corruption. Corruption. Well, it's a very big country that we have. And what's the quality of our leaders? You could have good plans, but the support that you require, if it is not there, you are not going to achieve. I believe the president has good intentions, but issues around him, people who are working with him, is suspect. The sincerity of many people working with him, suspect. And then he has to contend with managing the National Assembly. You need to know how much Nigeria spends on every House of Representative member and every senator. And then we are saying we need to build so many roads, we need to build so many schools, we need to build so many. There are so many areas of wastages that we need to cut to be able to, and then to enforce and contain corruption.
What one can look at is that when you talk about legal system, it includes both the courts, the functionaries of the court, and then the rules, the procedures that make up the entire legal system. What you could say is that the legal system needs improvement in terms of the personnel that run the courts, in terms of the rules, and obedience to the rules. So if you say dilapidated, you can be talking about buildings. Like every other thing in the world, the legal system evolves, because technology changes. There are certain parts of the law that people never did before. There's now communication law, entertainment. So the law is evolving as the world is evolving. Technology is coming in. Lawyers are keen in. The fintechs now. When we are younger, you never heard GSM. A lot is happening in the telecommunication, the energy law and that. And now people are talking about internet, laws of internet and everything. So it's quite a dynamic profession. That's why lawyers are said to be learned and not just educated. I disagree with that. There's justice for everybody. When you see the emblem of justice is an old lady that is blindfolded. So she doesn't see the rich, she doesn't see the poor. On the contrary, they say that the law or the courts are the hope of the poor man or the common man. What you can talk about is perhaps the access to justice that's been really is expensive. In Lagos, they're getting it right. They have an office of the public defender who can take up cases for those who are not able to do that. So really, in Nigeria, you can't say there's no justice for the poor. Rather, the government can do more to have access to justice made quite easy for the poor. Lagos is doing right on that score. And there's a lot of NGOs too who take up people's cases. Even some law firms, sometimes we do matters pro bono. The development of Nigerian legal system is not extant. It develops according to what happens in the world. For example, at my own time as a junior, you don't do e-filings. These days in Lagos, you can do e-filings. When we were growing up, the judges used to do, they take notes longhand. In some courts now, there are, recorders that record the proceedings, and then they can transcribe later. So the legal system in Nigeria is developing with the world. Legal Practitioners Act regulates the practice of law. It regulates, then they have the professional rules of professional conduct that regulates the practitioner's relationship to one another, practitioner relationship with their clients, and how you relate with the court. It is adequate and it's good. But the problem we have is like every other thing in the world, including Nigeria, is the personnel that run that. So sometimes our people don't like to follow rules. The rules are there and adequate, but it's enforcement. When rules are properly enforced, there will be compliance. Take, for instance, during the military in Lagos. In Oshodi, the military could not control Oshodi. People were quite rowdy. It took a civilian who had the will, like Fashola, to make sure that the rules are obeyed. So it is actually the willingness to enforce the rules the way they are that is the problem, and not the rules. The rules are quite adequate. Globalization in the sense of, do you interact with the lawyers from other jurisdictions in order to have a transaction, pull a transaction through? Yes. Globalization, is it in terms of you leave your area of practice to go to another country to go and practice? I don't agree with that. Because even in America, you have to be licensed in some states to practice in that state. You can't just leave Texas and go to New York and then go and practice. So the environment in Nigeria is quite conducive to foreign investment and improvement on that. But the only problem we have is the security situation, the security challenges, because nobody wants to invest money in an environment where you're not safe.
The word
of corporate lawyers in Nigeria rarely witness the conferment of senior advocate of Nigeria. Only the experienced and the legal luminary with the ability to break the camel's bar will make it to that stage through the courtroom and law strategies, making it a point of duty to be at the Supreme Court and the High Court. This will show more of your seriousness. It will also lead to a profound recognition as a bencher. When you talk about senior advocates of Nigeria that are corporate lawyers, Abdulhakeem Usman Mustafa SAN is a name with class and a legal weight, a distinguished man of the law, a legal practitioner with over 3 decades of experience as a legal icon who has attended many reputable international institutions such as Harvard Business School, Manchester Business School, UK, and where he banked an MBA degree after his Bachelor of Law degree at Ahmadu Bello University from 1985 to 1989. And the Nigerian Law School in 1989. He is a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, Commonwealth Lawyer Association, International Bar Association, and Fellow of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Abdulhakeem Mustafa SAN was confirmed with the prestigious rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria in 2016. As a result of his knowledge and legal bravery, Abdulhakeem Mustafa SAN has been appointed to serve several corporate institutions, president, Board of Appeal for Confederation of African Football, member, Legal Committee of the National Council of Privatization, Council member, National Open University of Nigeria, Chairman, IDC Consult Nigeria Limited, amongst many other appointments. A man of many awards, recognition, and victories at the law courts with several cases for the public and the government, is a pillar of inspiration to many young lawyers among to achieve greatness in the legal world. He is an advocate of justice, equity, and fairness. He is happily married with children and also a principal partner of AU Mustafa & Co., which was established in 1994 with the aim of offering a first-class legal services and delivering maximum value to all its descent stakeholders in core areas of legal services, which include corporate and commercial law, litigation, election matters, arbitrations and ADR, banking and finance, capital market, mergers and acquisition, corporate finance, energy and natural resources, and intellectual property, etc. This is indeed a line of inspiration to celebrate an icon and will wish him more success as a law merchant.
After working like 5 years in the bank, I pulled out. I was doing relatively well in the bank, but I knew the banking was not for me. So when I came out initially, it was a bit tough, but I was lucky that I went to the people that were in the bank together, like EDs in the bank, and when they knew that I was in private practice, and they knew, well, they had the impression that I was working hard when I was in the bank. So they gave me briefs, and from there, it started. I learned through the ropes. Unlike a lot of people who go to private practice, what I did when I started was, whenever I have a case in any court, I'll make sure I go to the court 6 or 7 times before my matter comes up. I'll observe the behavior of the judge, those who are making submissions with him. I will study everything. So by the time my matter comes up and I'm before the judge, I will have known the body language, the reaction, and all that. So, and it was easy, but it was hard work and God's benevolence. And yeah, success is very, very sweet, but you need to be consistent. You need to be stubborn with your conviction. I'll call myself Daddy's Robot. I didn't read law because I believed in it. Since I was in primary 3, my dad told me that I would be a lawyer. Even when I was doing A-levels and I wanted to read another course, my dad stood his feet. And I thank him for that initiative. I'm not sure I can do that for my kids now. My kids take their own decision. Unlike when I finished law school, I had an opportunity to serve in the merchant bank. 6 months before we finished service, I was given temporary employment. I was in the bank, but I knew within me that I didn't belong there. And a couple of people who saw the potential in me when I was in the bank, they were advising me to go into legal practice. And I did. I think it was one of the best things that has happened to me. It is said that there are 2 courses in the world, law and others. It's very true. I'm happy that I don't belong to the others. I belong to the best profession in the world. Well, if you say dilapidated, that's a very, very strong word. The legal profession has come a long way, and expectedly there are challenges. As you can observe, the Nigerian economy is getting bigger, Nigerian population is getting bigger. So you expect a lot of changes to come on board. But the most fundamental one is that the judiciary, the third arm of government, is seriously underfunded. In fact, a lot of African countries, a lot of other jurisdictions, they've left Nigeria behind. The kind of budgetary allocation to the judiciary is abysmally very poor compared to the role the judiciary plays in nascent democracy and even in justice delivery system. So it is what you give that you're going to get. So the solution to the problem is for us to readdress the funding mechanism. And to my mind, I think the Nigerian Bar Association needs to play a greater role. We need to be able to interface with the legislative and executive arm of government for us to get the kind of funding that will position the judiciary, especially if you look at the context that most of our courts still take proceedings in long hand. That is very, very archaic. It's not supported. The technology has improved everything now. You have digital courtrooms where the major role of a judge is to observe the dominion of the witnesses and not to be a typewriter that will be taking long hands. In the process of taking long notes, the major role that the court or the judge is supposed to play is relegated to the background. So in the long run, what we need to do, and do very fast, is to readdress the funding system for our judiciary.
What I could achieve by my own hard work, by my principles, by my determination, I have achieved.
That's about it from us to you. I believe you enjoyed the program just like I did. Don't forget to follow us on our YouTube channel on Gladiators Track with Akon. And also join us next week, same time, same station. Bye for now. God bless.